On April 22, 2026, a Chinese-born crypto billionaire filed a lawsuit in a San Francisco federal court accusing Donald Trump's crypto company of fraud and extortion. 2 weeks later, the Trumps countersued. But here's what nobody is telling you. This isn't a story about one scammer exposing another. This is a story about two scammers who built the same trap, and now they're fighting over who gets to keep the key. Let me set the scene. World Liberty Financial, co-founded by Donald Trump, Eric Trump, and Chase Harrow, launched in 2024 with a promise: decentralized finance, power to the small investor, a DeFi app that would put financial control in your hands. That app has never launched. But the tokens? Those launched just fine. Justin Sun, founder of Tron, a multi-billion-dollar crypto project with its own history of fraud allegations, became WLFI's biggest publicly known investor. He poured in $45 million initially, then upped it to $75 million. He also bought $100 million of Trump's meme coins. He posted on X that he loved Trump, that crypto and Trump were the future together. The new administration came to power. And Sun's legal troubles? They eased. The SEC, which had charged Sun with fraud and market manipulation in 2023, wash trading, unregistered securities, paying influencers without disclosure, put its case on hold, then settled for $10 million. A case that could have cost him hundreds of millions. $10 million. Senator Elizabeth Warren questioned whether it was tied to his investments in Trump's crypto ventures. Pause there, because that settlement isn't the story. The story is what happened next. In September 2025, WLFI tokens became tradable. Sun held 4 billion of them, including 1 billion awarded for serving on WLFI's advisory board, tokens that at one point were valued at over $1 billion. He should have been eligible to sell, but World Liberty had installed something Sun didn't know about: a backdoor blacklisting function embedded directly into the blockchain contracts. One person, one single individual at World Liberty had the power to freeze any token holder's assets without cause, without recourse. And they used it on their biggest investor. Sun's wallet was blacklisted, his tokens frozen, his voting rights stripped, and then the threat came. They would burn his tokens, delete them entirely. 4 billion tokens, $75 million of his money. Gone, not because the market crashed, but because someone at the company pressed a button. Sun went public. He posted on X that World Liberty had secretly embedded this tool, giving them unilateral power over any holder's property. The official WLFI account replied, "We have the contracts, we have the evidence, we have the truth. See you in court, pal." Here's where it gets disturbing. If they can freeze the wallet of their biggest investor, the guy who gave them $75 million, what can they do to yours? Now here's the thing that should terrify you most. Justin Sun is not the victim in this story. He's just the scammer who got scammed first. In March 2023, the SEC charged Sun and his companies, Tron, BitTorrent, with unregistered security sales, fraud, and market manipulation. The specifics? Sun orchestrated wash trading. He paid influencers to promote Tron without disclosing the payments. He generated over $31 million through fraudulent trades. That's not speculation. That's a federal agency's filing. Then there's the banana. In 2024, Sun bought Maurizio Catalan's artwork, a banana duct taped to a wall, for $6.2 million at Art Basel. Then he ate it, $6.2 million. A banana, while Tron investors watch their holdings bleed, and the pardon speculation. Reddit threads with hundreds of upvotes asking, "Didn't he buy a pardon?" The SEC dropped its investigation. The case settled for pennies. Senate and House Democrats have now launched their own investigation into whether pardons and dropped cases are being used to protect wealthy Trump allies. Justin Sun's name is on that list. So let me be clear about what's happening. The man accusing Trump's company of fraud is the same man the SEC charged with fraud. The man saying his tokens were seized illegally is the same man who seized $31 million from investors through illegal trades. This isn't justice. This is two criminals arguing over who stole more. If you're finding this useful, and if you want me to keep digging through on-chain data to expose who's really profiting, hit subscribe. The Trump family owns 22.5 billion WLFI tokens, a controlling interest. They generated over $460 million in income from this project in the first half of 2025 alone. The token launched at $0.45. It's now worth $0.07, an 80% collapse. But the Trumps didn't lose a dollar. They sold before the crash. The people who bought at launch? They're the ones holding the bag, and it gets worse. A WLFI affiliate signed deals with Pakistan's government, under the watchful eye of that country's army chief, Sheikh Tahnoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the brother of the UAE's monarch, who runs a $1 trillion investment fund, and the country's intelligence apparatus paid $500 million for his stake. So, this crypto company, with its sliding token price, is suddenly in the middle of international politics, military connections, and presidential conflicts of interest. WLFI borrowed against the value of its own stablecoin, using its own token on a platform run by its own advisor. That's not finance. That's self-dealing, dressed up as innovation. CoinX. Volcano Game. Libra. WLFI. Different names, different years, same pattern. Insiders hold the supply. Insiders control the exit, and the people who trusted the brand, whether it's a president, a billionaire, or a blockchain logo, become the exit liquidity. Justin Sun's lawsuit says World Liberty committed fraud and extortion. World Liberty's countersuit says Sun defamed them and engaged in short-selling misconduct. Discovery in both cases will be interesting, because both sides have secrets they don't want exposed in a courtroom. But the top comment on Reddit, with 244 upvotes, said exactly what every rational observer is thinking. Okay, can we have both sides lose somehow? Yes, we can, because both sides already won, at your expense. Sun made $31 million through wash trading. The Trumps made $460 million through WLFI. The only people who lost are the 140,000 traders on TradeX Pro, the 114,000 wallets on Libra, and every small investor who bought WLFI at $0.45 thinking they were investing in the future. In crypto, the scammers don't always look like criminals hiding in penthouses in Dubai. Sometimes they look like presidents. Sometimes they look like billionaires eating bananas. Sometimes they look like the most anti-establishment man in the room. The trap is always the same. The excuse is always the same. And the victims, they're always the same too. Here's your armor. 3 questions before you touch any token connected to a political figure, a billionaire endorsement, or a governance promise. Question 1. Who is promoting this, and what do they gain if you buy? A verified badge, a presidential seal, a $1 billion investment. None of it means the project is legitimate. It means the promoter has a vested interest in your money entering their system. If the biggest investor is a man the SEC charged with fraud, that's not a signal of strength. That's a warning. Question 2. Can the creators freeze your tokens? WFI embedded a backdoor blacklisting function that gave one person unilateral power to confiscate your property. Before you buy any token, check the contract. If there's a blacklist function, if there's a pause mechanism, if there's an admin key that can override your ownership, you don't own that token. You're renting it from someone who can evict you without notice. Question 3. Who actually holds the supply? The Trump family controls 22.5 billion WLFI tokens. Sun held 4 billion. Together, that's more than enough to control every exit. In legitimate projects, insider supply sits between 15 and 20%. If the people promoting the token also hold the majority, they control when you profit and when you lose. You are not an investor. You are the exit liquidity. Justin Sun versus World Liberty Financial. 2 lawsuits, 2 scammers. 0 accountability for the real victims. The blockchain doesn't lie, and I'll keep reading it for you. If you want more investigations like this, subscribe to Chain Exposed. No sponsors, no bias, just cold, hard truth on chain.